Is it rolling? Oh, how's it going, everybody? It is a rainy day here this morning in southeastern Iowa, so it has inspired me to talk to you about watering the garden, when to do it, how much is too much, and how to help retain some of that moisture in your soil. So if you're interested, check it out. One of the biggest mistakes people make in gardening, I've made this mistake before multiple times, but it's overwatering. And one of the things that is the most inexpensive way to fix that, to help yourself know when to water and when not to, is to get a rain gauge. You can get these at almost any hardware store, and it tells you how many inches of rainfall you have. So it's easy to record on a piece of paper when it rains, the date, how much rain has accumulated in the rain gauge, and then just keep track of that. If you get the recommended rainfall that is per plant, so tomatoes, they need about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall per week. So if you add up the total amount that has been in your rain gauge all week, and so if you add up the total amount that's in your rain gauge, and you do that for the week, and it hits your 2-inch mark, then you're good. You don't need to additionally water your tomato plants. It's unnecessary. And one of the main reasons for that is because it doesn't encourage your root system of your tomato plants to get down deeper, to get so deep. It encourages them to stay shallow. And you don't want shallow plants. You just don't want that. H-H. So infrequent deep waterings, usually rainfall, is enough. Tomato plant leaves are fairly sensitive when it comes to watering, especially here in southeastern Iowa, where it's a hot and humid climate in the summer. The best way to water is from the base. But the reason you don't want the leaves to get too wet is because it helps harbor and spread some diseases and fungal infections like blight. The blight spreads a lot faster when the leaves are wet, so the best way to prevent that is to say no to overhead watering. That brings me to my next topic, which would be mulch. Mulch your garden. Do it now. My suggestion for helping retain the moisture in your soil would be to mulch your garden. There are a number of benefits to mulching. It helps the microorganisms, the good bacteria, that entire ecosystem thrive. And it encourages worms to live within your garden, and that helps with the soil drainage as well. The worms create different pathways that the soil can drain through, and they also help create aggregates that help break up that soil. And it helps the root system dig deeper as well. Another awesome benefit of mulching around the base of your plants is it prevents the splashback of the soil when it does rain. So within the soil, there are those good bacteria and fungus, but there's also that harmful fungus that lives and can go dormant in soil. So when it rains and it pelts on the ground, it can splash up the fungus and give your tomato plants that fungal infection. So when you cover up around the base of it, it does not allow the soil to splash up and can prevent those spores from splashing up on your tomato plants. If you don't have a rain gauge, you can just simply dig beneath any mulch or any coverings that you have on top of your soil. Dig down a little ways and grab a handful of soil, squeeze it. If it holds its form, then it has enough moisture content. If it crumbles apart, then you might need to do a watering. Little suggestion, if you are expecting a big rainfall, go out and pick some of the tomatoes that might be starting to ripen or are ripe, because usually a big rainfall or a deep watering will cause your tomatoes to split. A lot of that moisture goes straight to growing the tomatoes, and it just can't, the skin can't keep up with the growth of the tomato, so it does split. It's still edible, you can still take it inside and let it continue to ripen, but it's just a suggestion so they don't go unseen and get eaten up by little buggies. In this video description, I will provide some information about how much rainfall, how many inches per week that plants need of rainfall. And you guys can do your own research too. But another good way to tell if your plants do need water, aside from the rain gauge and the soil moisture test, is to just be out in your garden. I love it out here. I love being out in my garden, but it is important for people to be out in their garden to recognize the signs that their plants are giving them, because they do put out signs. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please share it and let me know. Next time, I'm thinking about doing a video about pruning tomatoes, tomato plants. So if that sounds interesting to you, let me know. Oh, hello. I don't know. Oh, kitten. Wow. Okay.